Hey everybody, want to wisdom here. It is Friday, December 14th, 2012. Picked this up yesterday. It was the first chance I had to actually get it in stores. I think it actually just hit news shelves. If you are a Nintendo fan or grew up with Nintendo, you likely remember Nintendo Power. Sadly, it was announced earlier in the year that the magazine was basically going to cease to exist after the publication, of the December 2012 issue. If you're a subscriber, that should be in your mailbox. If you, pick it up locally, it should be available now. This is it. This is the final issue of Nintendo Power. Poster inside, of course, they've got basically your clay Mario running from Bowser, a couple of Goombas there. It's basically going to talk about New Super Mario Bros. U, 20-page Wii U review spectacular. The greatest game of all time and the final issue, 25 years of Nintendo Power history. This is, again, the source for Nintendo players straight from the pros. Purchase price $5.99 at the newsstands. There's actually a Barnes & Noble coupon if you're on their mailing list for 25% off. Naturally, I saw that after I purchased the magazine. So, that said, note that it is sealed. That's something you don't see, very often. I know I've picked up the last several issues that haven't been sealed. Binder is Nintendo Power. I actually just noticed this. If you can see the spine there, it says final issue, and then down there is December 2012. Then of course this is, I guess, volume 285. What's cool about this cover, it actually looks pretty dadgum good, but the other thing, this is actually paying tribute to their very first issue, which that would have been 25 years ago, 1987. We're talking Super Mario Bros. 2, which again, a lot of people don't know the backstory on that game, but nonetheless, basically Wart was there and Mario was running. I think, the poster, I think, is actually going to highlight the covers of all the magazines. That is the very first issue right there. And you kind of get a look at Wart there in the background, Clay Mario. And again, that's where they actually, drew the concept for this one. I did pick up a couple of copies. I'm going to give one to my nephew, actually, for Christmas. And then I'll keep one sealed, just for the sake of supporting him. I really hate to see it go. I mean, obviously, I'm an online person. That said, I kind of liked having physical copies. That's why I don't, download new games. I actually go out and still purchase them. Reason for that, like I said, I kind of like to have something physical in my hands. This is packaged pretty well. Anyway, I think we got it freed up over here, so let me pull it out. Again, these may go pretty fast. I guess it kind of depends on, how up people are on it. I know when it was announced it was going to be their final issue, people were all going nostalgic over it, but, we'll kind of have to wait and see. The really cool thing here is the poster. I'll just be honest with you, it's pretty sweet. I think I'm going to get this framed, hang it up somewhere. But this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So it's 25, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's basically 25 by 12, highlights everything, obviously. Just skimming this, I actually recognize a few of the covers from when I was a little kid. Trying to think which was the first issue I ever got. It was pretty early. I mean, I didn't ever, actually kind of get a 64. I was kind of back in the old school. Let's see. I think it might have been right there, the Super C cover. I think that is the first issue I ever had as a kid. Basically, it's a deal. You're at the grocery store, and at the time, I mean, we did not have the internet. I know it's hard for people to grasp if you didn't grow up in the time, but you literally had to wait every month for Nintendo Power to come out to learn new tricks or to figure out how to get past something. it was very rare that you could like roll over to your friend's house when you're 6 or 7 years old and they just magically, found all these hidden exits or something. You kind of had to rely on this stuff. You couldn't just like go and pull up a walkthrough on YouTube, or I mean, it generally, and I mean, people, like I remember some of my older friends, when I'd be around them, they would like have these printed off pages. They were copies of Nintendo Power, and they actually had them stapled together. This like thick 20-page little packet, and it was like telling you how to beat Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So that's the other thing. Back in the day, I mean, games were genuinely hard. I mean, there was no difficulty setting. It was just hard. Developers had the mindset that people didn't want to be able to beat something easy, and so it's just insanely hard. Obviously some games took that to extremes more than others. I mean, you had stuff like Battletoads. There's that deal in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where like no one could ever jump that little chasm that was like one block missing, and all you have to do is walk across it. The seaweed part was killer. What happened to me and my friends would get to the turtle wagon part, and then like we just get run over by the foot soldiers. But ideally, if one of your friends had a subscription to Nintendo Power, you got that magical little copied thing if someone had access to a copier, and you took it from there. But nonetheless, I mean, that's a pretty sweet poster. It's a nice, I guess, way to recap everything. And, if you're say you've been a subscriber, I know a lot of people say they learn to read by Nintendo Power, but if you've been a subscriber, that's going to be extra nice to have. The issue itself seems to be pretty thick. There's really just, a lot of good information in these still. Granted, at this point in time, and I guess one of the reasons Nintendo didn't renew is just simply because, now a game launches, we'll say, this Tuesday. Well, that means probably the preceding Tuesday or, weekend or something. All the online outfits that get the games early, they've basically got full-blown walkthroughs and ratings ready to go. Which, is cool. You won't blow your money or something, if you hate it or the reviews are bad. But in all honesty, a lot of times those people's reviews are just complete crap anyway. I hate to say it, but for the average person, it doesn't line up. They might rate a game like a 6.5, and then if you look at, like the fan score, it's like a solid 9. Sometimes I feel like there's agendas there, and, they might have, it's kind of like award shows and music. If you ever pay attention to things, you'll notice that it's like the same label that gets all the nominations kind of going on. That said, I've always felt Nintendo Power is pretty straightforward and honest. Obviously, it is Nintendo focused, but if things were bad, they said they were bad. And similarly, you got just a, kind of like if someone you really trust was telling you, hey, this game is horrible, you kind of got that. And if it said, hey, we know the reviews haven't been great so far on X game, but we actually happen to like it, and here's why. And I think that was important. But like I said, anymore, everything has gone digital just because it breaks so much faster. There's no way in the world. And you couldn't comprise an entire issue. It'd have to be like little leaflets sent out to you. And that kind of, again, kills the point of a, publication magazine. It's just a different time we live in now. People want things instantaneously. I still would like to have seen Nintendo Power go on. Like I said, I guess they felt like, they're going to take things a different direction or something. For the record, I actually miss, can't even think of what it was called for sure now. The Nintendo channel, but they did away with that. I guess Nintendo Directs kind of superseded everything, which I do enjoy that. That's something people have always wanted, is just news straight from the very top of the company. But on the flip side, I kind of miss like the different mediums, even if they are somewhat official. But this is available. $5.99 is a price that may vary. Like I said, you can probably catch a coupon if you want to, but I think this one is well worth picking up. Looks like it's going to have a lot of good content in it. I obviously don't want to open it up. I want you to go out and buy the magazine. And again, I'm in no way affiliated with Nintendo Power and Nintendo. I'm just a fan, and like I said, I really enjoyed the magazine. As a kid, it was rare that I would get one, but when I did, I always thought it was pretty cool, and you basically just, if I could find my very first issue, I know I still have it, but like just the pages are just worn down from thumbing through it. And like I said, I mean, it's anyone that grew up, when I did. Like I said, if you didn't have Nintendo Power, you probably knew that friend that did, and probably came in very, very handy, particularly for some of your games. Similarly, people born after me, maybe like, I don't know, early to mid 90s. If you were ever playing, games like Ocarina of Time, when it first came out, probably, resourced Nintendo Power for several things. But again, it is available right now. This is the final issue. No clue how many they'll put out, or crank out. But if you want it, my advice is to move quick. It's the least you could do. I mean, it's a great publication. It's really sad to see it go. Like I said, I know things kind of have shifted full online. Most magazines, in all honesty, in addition to their, handheld subscriptions, they actually do deals where subscribers have online access, basically see things instantaneously. That would have been an option, but then, I mean, it becomes just like everything else. Maybe some point in time they'll bring it back. I don't know that they will, but I definitely enjoyed it. I have good memories from a kid with Nintendo Power. I think most people do, if they were ever exposed to the magazine, or simply helped out by it, maybe one of those black and white copy things. If your friends or your parents or an aunt or an uncle had that when they were going through a game and you're like, what do they do at work? Just, copy stuff off. It's most likely someone in the office, had Nintendo Power and then, distributed amongst the gamers was the black and white copied pages to help them get through the game or find the secret items and whatnot. But again, pretty much anywhere magazines are sold, Barnes & Noble, if you have local newsstands, stuff like that, any bookstore really. I think you can probably order it online, don't hold me to that, but if you're at all a fan of Nintendo Power, a fan of Nintendo, or just a gamer in general, this is a piece of history. And for $6, I don't feel like you can do wrong. Plus, you do get the pretty sweet poster. So, like I said, I'm going to frame that one and hang it up somewhere. But questions, comments, feel free to post up here on YouTube. If it's anything urgent, I suggest you use the blog link at the top of the video description. I'll just be able to get to it much, much quicker. Similarly, feel free to leave your stories about Nintendo Power. Like I said, I know a lot of people truly did learn to read with Nintendo Power. Kind of gave them that incentive that might have been missing with some of the generic school publications. But that said, you can follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+, whichever you prefer. As always, thanks for watching. And for Nintendo Power, thanks for everything. And it's sad to see you go.